Hey folks, I'm Mr. Hartzler, and I wanted to talk to you about Vertex form of a quadratic function. It's up there on your screen. So let's just get started with some examples. Oh, no. So up here on your screen, you'll see some targets and vocabulary. You could just screenshot this if you want. The main point that you're going to have to take away from this is, if I can pull up my little pen here, is this chunk right here. That this is the main form of our equation, of the vertex form of it, and then our vertex comes from h comma k, which you'll see its components in our formula here. So that is the most important piece of this slide, but let's go in and start using it on some examples. So here we have example 1, transforming a quadratic function. So here I kind of already have some stuff for you, right? This main darker one, that is the parent function. The red one is it shifted. And you'll notice that some things were done, right? This 3 and this 4 and this 2 are what did all of these translations, these transformations. The h, or it's right here connected to your x, this does our horizontal translation. So that's what shifted us to the right 3 units by that 3 there. Then you'll notice that we had a vertical translation as well. It's the 4 here. That means we then went up 4 units. And it might be a little harder to see it, but we also stretched a little bit. We are tighter than what the parent function would be. I'll do like roughly what the parent function would be, a little bit broader. But this 2 makes it nice and steep, and that comes from, not our k value actually, that's my bad, but from a up here. So that's kind of nice. And then the k value, that actually came from what was in green. That's the number just off to the side. All right, so that was all that happened. I was shifted to the right 3, up 4, and then had a vertical stretch of 2. Let's look at the next example now. All right, so we're over here. First thing I'm going to do is look at my formula and graph my vertex. My vertex comes from my h and my k. This is my h. This is my k. And it means I go to the right 1. I do the opposite of what it says in there. So it says -1, so I'm going to go to the positive 1. Then on the outside it says +3, so I'm actually going to do what it says. I'm going to go up 3. That's my vertex. Then I look at my amplitude. That's the number out in front, my a value. And because it's a 1, I'm going to put it over 1. No matter what that value is, even if it's a fraction, I'm going to put it over 1. And I'm going to go then up 1, over 1 in this case. That only works the first time. Otherwise, it'd be parabola, not a parabola, absolute value graph. So here we go. Roughly a parabola. My Algebra 2 class at this point in the year, this is all I'm really looking for. That graph right there. My domain, so what x values am I allowed to have? That's actually going to be all of them. So I can write all reals, or I would also say -infinity to infinity. That's because this graph is going to keep going up and keep going to the left and keep going to the right as I spread that out. So because of that, I know that keep going left, keep going right, I have all of those values. I have from -infinity up to infinity. Range, however, is a little bit different. I have a bottom number. So I read these numbers, -infinity to infinity, left to right, just like I read my graph. A little noise. But I also start at my bottom and work my way up. So my lowest number is down here. For my y value, that's 3. So I have my y value is going to be greater than or equal to 3. I could also write that as 3 to infinity. So I keep going up and up. Now we'll look at my vertex. My vertex is this point right here. I'm now overlaying that brown with some blue, and it comes exactly from my h and my k. So my h comma k, which for us in this case is going to be 1 comma 3. Axis of symmetry, you've all seen the butterflies, right? It's that little dotted line that I could draw right down the middle of my graph. Notice where I cross my x-axis at 1. That means my axis of symmetry is x equal 1. All right, x equals 1. That is my axis of symmetry. So I can keep going. And, oh, I do want to note, it does have to be x equals 1. It can't just be the number 1. It is an equation of a line, that dotted line there. So now we talk about min and max. In this case, I have a minimum. I have a minimum because I have a low spot right here at my vertex. I keep going up, so I can't have a maximum. That means I have a min. So I have a minimum, and that is at the coordinate point 1, 3. It's always at my vertex. And I would then say that this has a height of 3. I actually should have written a minimum of 3. All right, let's keep going. So now I actually need to go into kind of a harder phase of this, right? I'm not given a formula or a function or anything or a graph, but I'm given 2 coordinate points. And I need to figure out what that parabola looks like and then what's the equation of it. So first I'm going to do is graph my vertex over 3 to 3 and make sure I label my axis down 2. So I'm right here. That's my vertex. I also have the coordinate point, and I'll try and do this in a different color. I have the coordinate point 2, 3. So I'm going over 2, up 1, 2, 3. So right there. Try and do it curvy. Oh, and I also know that I'm going to have the same dot on the other side because that's how parabolas work, right? They're symmetrical. We kind of talked about that in the last one with the axis of symmetry. So because I know of both of these dots, I do know some about my equation. I'm going to first write down the general form in vertex form of a parabola. I know my a value because I know I open up. So f of x equals a, I know it's going to be a positive number. I guess I don't know what exactly it is. But I do know my h and I do know my k. My h and my k are going to come from my vertex. H first, then k. Just alphabetically, just like x and y. So x minus my h value of 3 plus k, which is a -2. Well, oh, don't forget your little squared there. Now what do I do, right? I don't know what else to fill in here. I don't have any other information. But wait, we do. I told you, and it was given to you, this point, 2, 3. Let's plug that in. Again, it's your x and your y. F of x is a fancy way of looking at y. So my x is then 2. Oh, I didn't mean to write y. I meant to actually write the number. So that's 3 equal a times 2 minus 3 squared plus, well, I can just write -2, can't I? Now I need to simplify this and solve for a. So 3 is as far as I can go there. But it's now -1 squared minus 2. -1 squared is just +1. So if that's +1, I don't have to really worry about it. Plus 2. Plus 2. 5 equals a. Awesome. Almost done. Now I just need to set this all up. So f of x equals 5 x minus, I know what this is. This is my h value. This is 3. Squared minus 2. That is the equation of this particular parabola. Not too shabby, right? So keep in mind, you have to use both of these pieces of information. A lot of people just do the first one, call it done, leave the a empty, just delete it all together and say it doesn't exist. And that's not right. You can't just delete that and say, oh, everything else is fine. No. This one is way steeper than a typical graph would be for this one. It's way steeper. It's kind of obvious even by the drawing. So keep that in mind as we go through these things. That's it. That's all I got. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please click that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of these videos or just to get those subs up because, you know, all of us YouTubers are interested in the subs. If you're one of my students, send me an email if you have any question, or if you're just somebody else, you don't know my email, and write that down in the comments below. I check them as often as I can. And of course, I hope all of you have a phenomenal day. And remember, don't do drugs. Bye, everybody.